All right. Yes. Yes. Yes, I'm live. Welcome. Woo. Oh man. Oh man. I'm very excited to do the show. The only problem is nothing's really happened today. It was a very quiet day in the NFL. Nothing's going on. So that's kind of what's going on here. I'm going to make sure that I am live on. Am I live on YouTube? Okay. I know there's a delay. Okay. Somebody don't mind. Give me. I'm guessing because I see comments, everything's good. But I'm looking at YouTube right now, and it is not. Okay, there it is. Okay. All right, we're good to go. So, my apologies because my new work schedule, I literally work till 7. And so I shut off one computer, I hop on another one. I wish I could have done some show prep because there'd been some really big news regarding pro days, and I kind of wanted to go over that. I didn't have time. But if anybody hasn't seen the Penn State pro days, Micah Parsons ran a 4.39, and the defensive end, who's 6'5", I think the NFL Network has him as 6'5", 252. He ran a 4.36. All right, so Calvin Johnson was 6'5", 230. He ran a 4.35. This dude's 6'5", 250 plus and runs a 4.36. And I didn't have him going in my first round. So, and if I remember right, this dude played last year. He didn't sit out like Parsons. Now, you're 6'5", you're 250 something. You run a 4.36, and you play defensive end in college. But he didn't have one sack last year. He had several tackles for losses, but not one sack. That's kind of weird. If I was this dude, I would be on offense. I'd be like, look, I'm going to play tight end, but don't put me on the ball. Anyway, that's my rant. I'm going to get to some comments here. By the way, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to get some comments. I'm going to have a video come out probably tomorrow night. I'm going to break down the big trade. I'm going to break down what San Francisco is going to do at 3, Miami at 6, Philly at 12. Because you joined me live, I'm going to give you all 3 of those picks tonight, right now. So I'm going to get some comments, and then I'm going to rant a little bit about the San Francisco 49ers at 3. So let's see here. One Pride 40, Pits to Fins. Very well could be. We'll talk about it. I'm very excited, man. I'm very excited here. We all tune in on Friday. Oh man, I literally get off of work. I literally shut off my work computer and everything's going on. And Stevie's right. No, not a big deal. Not a big deal. Okay. Hey, let's start. Let's start with San Francisco. I apologize. No show prep. Not an opportunity to break it down in detail. But I do know San Francisco is going from 12 to 3. Here's what it means. If you were not aware, and I got a good bunch of regulars coming in. I got some smart football fans. I know you guys know your stuff. You guys all know that Robert Saleh took over as head coach of the New York Jets. Robert Saleh is former defensive coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but Robert Saleh brought the run game coordinator from the San Francisco 49ers over to the Jets to be the offensive coordinator. So there's some good blood there between San Francisco and New York Jets. You have an AFC team and an NFC team. Here's the drill. Because these two teams are in different divisions and these two teams, know each other pretty well, personnel does, it's not unlikely that San Francisco knows who the Jets are going to take it to. All right? San Francisco only makes this trade if they know who Saleh is going to pick at 2. We all know Trevor Lawrence is going number 1, okay? The draft starts at 2, and some Jags fan told me I was disrespecting the Jags because I didn't make a video about them. I'm making a video about them in a couple weeks. But I mean, there's no video to make. Trevor Lawrence is going to Jacksonville. There's no video. I tried to explain that. Oh, you disrespect. No, I didn't disrespect you. There's just nothing going on. So San Francisco knows who the Jets are going to take. I saw a mock draft by Bookie Brooks, who's on the NFL Network. He has released his latest mock draft. He has Penei Sewell going to the Jets at 2. I personally do not, but if that's the case, let's say the Jets are buying into Sam Darnold, and they are going to take Sewell. I wouldn't do that. Hold on. I'm seeing something in the. Can somebody? I don't know this guy. Did this really happen? Did this really happen? I'm sorry, JOHB. Welcome. I was on a rant. Can somebody confirm, did this really happen? Did this really happen? Because I don't have an answer. So, but yeah. Somebody confirm. JOHB, welcome to the show. Way to come fucking big, man. Hold on, now I'm going to drink some coffee. I'm already jacked up. Now I'm drinking coffee. But San Francisco already knows who the Jets are going to take. Let's say you use my mock draft and the Jets are going to go with Justin Fields at 2. Okay? Then you know that Zach Wilson is available at 3. By the way, I only saw one throw he made during his pro day, but I watched it about 10 times when I was supposed to be working. Wow. So his pro day was impressive. So far, the quarterbacks that I've seen, all of them have had really, really good pro days. And I haven't had a chance to watch all of them, but it seems like of all the quarterbacks, all of them look very impressive. So San Francisco is aware of what the Jets are going to do. Now, here's the deal. These are 2 AFC teams. I can see the Jets trying to sabotage the 49ers, but there's no point in sabotaging, ill will against your own team. There's no point. So the Jets and the 49ers know what's going on. That's why San Francisco made this move. Normally, you don't make this big of a move for a wide receiver or maybe even Kyle Pitts. Let's just say you fall in love with Kyle Pitts and you want to take him at 3. So it's probably for a quarterback. I think it's pretty safe to say that San Francisco is not going to trade up for any other position other than a quarterback. You're not going to go from 12 to 3. Okay? So that's kind of what I'm thinking. So, and let me know in the comments if you disagree. But, I mean, that's what I see. And hey, let's get some comments. Let me ask you something. Do you really think that there's a situation where where San Francisco goes from 12 to 3 and doesn't take a quarterback? Because I could see the Jets going in another direction. I really could. I think they're going to go with Fields. That's still my pick. However, you understand, San Francisco only does this because they know exactly who the Jets are going to take. All right? I want to make that perfectly clear. All right, so let's get some comments here. One pride, maybe, but I could really see one. Okay, you're thinking, and I don't see it because they got 2 last year, and then they also picked up Wilson, and then they ended up cutting him, which was really bad. I would think that if you're going to take a tackle, you'd take him at 18, not 6, but we'll see. I drank an energy drink earlier today. Didn't affect me at all. No effect. So Detroit is going to pick Slater Pitts. Jeez, 23 is going to be a Lion. I'm going to get back to that. Because I'm going to talk about Miami first. Yeah, they did. They took 2, actually. Can somebody confirm did this really happen? I don't want to go and hit the NFL Network and ESPN while I'm doing the show. Can somebody confirm that this happened? This would be a lot of fun for me personally, and I'd have a lot of fun with this pick. But can somebody let me know, because I have to do a video tomorrow explaining all the trades. So. If you waste our 7 on Pats, I'm going to be. I don't know, man. You guys tell me, man. I had no idea Atlanta was shopping their pick. I actually thought quarterback was a smart move because Matt Ryan's 36, so that made a lot of sense. You wait at 4 and you take the best passer available. Originally before this 49ers trade, I actually thought it would be Zach Wilson. Now I have to think that Zach Wilson or Justin Fields would probably go to San Francisco at 3. And the question is, do you like Trey Lance enough to take him at 4? I mean, you could go Zach Jones. I don't see them doing that at 4. You may want to trade back. That's why I want to know, was that just fun or what? You let me know. You should. It wouldn't surprise me if Detroit trades down, by the way. I'm jacked up. I know Denver Gators jacked up. Fields is off the board. Okay. Pitts is only a tight end because of his size. The dude spent more time off. Yeah. And same with Travis Kelce. Pitts is a tight end, but if you but here's the thing. If you draft Pitts and you want him to block, excuse me, it's a wasted pick. It really, I think it's a wasted pick. Got to have a good creative offensive mind. Sorry. Nose itches. I am not doing coke, I promise. Okay, I got you. I mean, let me ask you something. I mean, 6'3", 240, ran a 4.39. It's not bad. You and your clicking bud. Oh shit! Is mine okay? Sorry, man. Sorry, dude. Let me know. Just put like a quick 1 in the chat. So my apologies, man. My apologies. Yeah, QB. Man, Tennessee Titans logic. Welcome, brother. Actually, hold on here. All right, sorry about that. I apologize because the last couple of videos I've had to use my cell phone because I can't get the noise. I bought a new cable and that did not work. So I know the clicking noise is annoying. All right. All right, that is not good either. All right. All right. Sorry about that, guys. I've had to stop using. All right, and I can't just hold down on. Well, I mean, can I? All right, hold on here. All right, I'm gonna try something here. All right. Apologize, guys. If you don't mind, all right, I'm gonna try something different. Bear with me one moment. Default. Sorry, this is bad. All right, this is not good at all. I apologize. So, can somebody give me like just a quick 1? Just put a 1 in the chat if the noise is good, and 2 if it's not. Because I apologize. Yeah, I apologize. I have not been able to fix the sound issue. It's on both the camera that I use and on the microphone. I bought a new cord for the microphone. It did not work. I was really upset by just twisting it, fixed it. But if you could, just somebody could give me a heads up. One all good, and then 1.5, 2 is bad. I'm getting 1 and 2. Shit. Do me a favor. Put if the sound is really bad, put a 2. Worst case scenario, I can stop the live stream for a few minutes and do a little troubleshooting 101. It's the reason why I do some show prep. So my apologies. If it gets bad, I'm going to go to 2. Yeah, but let me get some of these questions here. If we go with Parsons, hey, come on over to the Chiefs side, man. Come on over to the Chiefs side. But no, I really would be shocked that the Lions chose Parsons. Come on over, man. I've been looking, but I don't see anything about a WFT foul. I was shocked that happens. Mike is in the house. Welcome, brother. I found out about Fournette. Really surprised about Fournette. And I know you're going to find this hard to believe, but right now my Super Bowl would be Bucks and Bills. So you can copy off me. That was, by the way, I'm going to talk about that for a long time because you called Bucks and Bills in September, if I remember right. So yeah, that right now is my 2021 Super Bowl is Bucks and Bills. Miami trade for Wilson. He's gone now. So, they only gave up a 7th. I think they flip-flopped 7th. It was something really small, so it's not that big of a loss. I mean, this is a first-round player. This is a guy who was just an enormous talent, and I thought a perfect right tackle. So it's kind of interesting what Miami will do. Wilson going 2. I'm going to stick with Fields. Alex, what is up, brother, man? Dude, you're not going to believe this. The 2 weeks that you were gone, nothing but Cowboys talk. You're not going to believe that. We all agree Dak Prescott's better than Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes. We all agreed. It was fantastic. I'm so glad to see you, brother. Pitts is fun. How it be, guys? I've been in Utah, Zion National Park for a while. I haven't been able to chat. Dude, yes! Party in Vegas, man. I'm really glad that you're tuned into the show when you're in Vegas. Dude, if you're comfortable sharing, that would be awesome. But I'm dying to know where you're staying. If you don't want to share, that's fine. But let me know. You got me on Twitter. Let me know where you're staying, man. Okay. Man, a lot of Titans fans want Elijah Moore. Well, he just blew up the pro day. I think he ran a 4.34, and I like his game. Actually, I'm dying to know. What do you think about Bud Dupree? I like it. I like it a lot. I like Bud Dupree there. So I mean, that really, really, really helps out quite a bit. I kind of want to say anything. I'm not going to say, but I like Bud Dupree. Elijah Moore, round 1, I don't see it, man. And I don't know if he'll be back for round 2. I really don't. You may get lucky. Zangu, yes, welcome, brother. Falcons fan here. The Niners better not take Trey at 3. I'll be honest with you. I don't think they're going to take him at 3 either. I'm glad you're here. So I don't see it. I don't see it. I think Zach Wilson or Justin Fields would be the pick. And I really think here's how I have my mock draft. I have Fields going to the Jets. I now have Wilson. Zach Wilson going to the Niners at 3. And then your Falcons at 4. I actually think your Falcons would take Trey Lance. And to me, that makes a lot of sense. I think Trey Lance going to Atlanta makes a lot of sense because he would sit for probably 2 years. He would play in a Taysom Hill type of role, if that. He might just sit. But that's kind of what I would see right now. And I'm going to do another video Saturday and go from there. My Texans have been making lots of moves and Watson. Okay. You didn't get a chance to hear my show But it's man, I don't want to go on a rant, but I think the situation actually looks really good. Here's what happened. A lawyer approached Deshaun Watson's lawyer and said, 6-figure settlement, everything goes away. Deshaun Watson, because I think he's innocent, and I'm speculating, Deshaun Watson just said no. And so then they said, okay, well, we're going to go public, and we're going to get more people. But I don't know if you ever watched Breaking Bad, my favorite show ever, or Better Call Saul. But the lawyer reminds me of Saul Goodman. So they got some Saul Goodman type of guy. And here's the deal. As of right now, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong because I haven't been paying too much attention, but no criminal charges have been pressed, just civil. And they also, it's public record that they offered Deshaun Watson a 6-figure settlement and this would go away. All right. So, to me, if somebody sexually assaulted me, I would go to the police, not run from my checkbook. All right. And that's kind of how I see it. So I actually think it actually looks good. And I think what's going to happen is I think Watson's going to come back strong. I really do. I think Watson's going to come back strong. So, yeah, okay. Start over. My backup team. All right, that's cool. You're wanting Pitts, am I correct? One Pride 40. Alex, some love here. 1s are good, 2s are bad. All right, sorry about that. It's better. All right, cool. I apologize, guys. For the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be working until 7 on Friday. I'm going to try to get my sound issue ironed out. So thanks for being patient with me. One's all right, sweet. By the way, I got lots of hate from my latest pick, my latest draft pick. I'm going to redo some things. But Stevie, what do you think? Devontae Smith going to Arizona at 16, if you didn't get a chance yet. Man, no joke, when the draft's over, I might be doing the same thing. I might take off for like 3 days. I'm going to do a video Wednesday before the draft, and then I think I'm going to go live Monday, just give my breakdown. I haven't decided yet. Detroit trading back with Carolina or Denver for Mac Jones. Yeah, I can see all those. I can see all of them. We'll have to kind of see what happens. I mean, you could luck out. I'm going to get to that in a minute. I'm going to read some more of these comments. I'm going to get to what Miami's going to do at 6. There's a popping noise I have never been able to fix. And the worst part is that I have my own microphone, and then I have a microphone on the camera. Both of them are making this noise. There's 101 troubleshooting steps. I've done all 101. So I'm aware it's like a click. If it gets really bad, if it gets really, really bad, I can stop the show. I might have to reboot or something. So if it gets really bad, please let me know, and I can try to reboot and just keep going. So I'm glad to get. That's awesome, man. You know, it's awesome. 1 for now. All right, cool. Thanks, man. I know you got backup. I know yours. I'm doing yours Monday. I actually had JOK going there, so I'm dying to know what you think. I didn't know you guys are hunters, man. That's kind of cool. I don't hunt myself, but I am a gun owner. I got several. So doesn't matter if Bucks return all their players. Will matter. 1, how many of those players are healthy come the Super Bowl, and 2, if their team they play is missing. I don't get this at all, man. Dude, because I mean, here's the deal. Before the high-speed chase, you got released, you can still sign with a team. You're just an unrestricted agent this time. Now you got no chance. You know, you got to go up to Canada now. I mean, dumb move. Really dumb move. Talented kid. I thought the Titans was the perfect spot for him. John Kine. Okay. Caesar's Palace. Nice. Yes. Yes. Caesar's Palace. Yes. Yes. I like Westgate. And then the last time I was there, I stayed at a place called Polo Towers. They said it was on the strip. It's really not, but it worked out better because it's just right behind the strip. So like you can have some quiet. There's no casino too. So there's like quiet. And then you walk like 75 yards and then you're right there on the strip. So, but Caesar's Palace is very nice. Very nice. I'm jealous. I'm jealous. So, Run Pride. I think New England moves up for Jones and we go with JOK. I could see that. I actually could see that. The one thing I would worry about is that if you drop all the way to 15, you may not be able to get him. I think if you're targeting JOK and that's the guy you want, if you're Detroit Lions, I think you better take him at 7, not try to play around. That's just what I think. I'm going to be honest because Cassio is making the Texans team look good. Our center got better, running back core got better, defense gotten way better. There's a lot of good things that are going on with the Texans, my friend. There's a lot of good things going on with the Texans. Really been impressed with them. I'd rock with that. I like to trade the Panthers to get a premium player. I would think that if you have several teams wanting to trade and Carolina's one of them, Minnesota did this with Cleveland a few years ago. They flipped from 8 to 9, and they got like an extra 5th round pick. That's a smart veteran move. I don't know if the Lions can pull that off or not. So it'll be a little bit of a chicken, But here's the thing: if you really want JOK, take him at 7. I will say that you definitely 100% take him at 7. Notre Dame's pro day, I believe, is on the 31st. So next show. We will find out because I really want to see his measurables. Is he 5'11", 215, or is he going to be like 6'1", 225 and run a 4.35? I mean, because if he's measurables, if JOK has a good pro day, take him at 7. There'll probably be 4. Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, Funk, man, did hell freeze over? Because yes, I got in the debate with someone about the Lions drafting Parsons, drafting him, make the call. Yeah, you're 100% correct. It's funny because somebody criticized my Lions video saying that I'm an idiot because I don't have Devontae Smith or Jalen Waddle going to the Lions at 7. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. But I'm as soon as I finish up all the comments, I'm going to talk about the Dolphins at 6. Excited about Bill Dupree, Simmons, Bud Dupree. Denico, Autry, and Landry should be a nice front. Still want Clowney too if we can get them cheap. I don't think you're going to get Clowney cheap, and you really don't need them at this point, to be honest with you. I mean, really, Bud Dupree is a guy I was very, very high on. It's just he could never put his game together, and I think now you put him next to one of the guys. You put him next to one of the guys I've always had a major crush on, and Harold Landry. That is just awesome. You have some good inside linebackers. Now you can get a little creative, but you don't need Clowney, so you only get Clowney now if you're cheap. And the best part is you can use this pick. You can literally go best player available, or you could trade down out of round 1. Wouldn't be surprised they trade down out of round 1. Yeah, he went to the Giants. I personally have always been disappointed with him. He's not a number 1 guy. But they lost to Dorian Butler, so spoiler alert, they need a corner. I haven't got there yet, but I when I do the Titans video, I'm going to bring that up. So yeah. No criminal charges are out, but in these type of charges, usually the jury sides with the accuser since there's very evidence on either side. So I don't know how this will go, but innocent. Okay. Yes. Innocent until proven guilty. But I think that there's a case study, I don't know if you're familiar with the Ryan Banks story. They're making it a movie on Amazon where his girlfriend accused him of rape. He went to jail for 5 years. And it turned out to be she was just mad because he broke up with her. What's his name? I want to say Okafor, the guy out of Baylor. He went to jail for like 18 months in that Baylor scandal. And turned out to be he was innocent. The Duke lacrosse team. And here's why I think this is going to go good. It's now public record on ESPN. You can debate, but it's a legitimate media source. The lawyer offered Deshaun Watson a six-figure NDA agreement before this came out. That's public record. And all you got to do is say, look, we were offered 6 figures to keep our mouth shut. So that's why I think it's going to go good. I actually think Deshaun Watson is not only going to be free and clear, but he's going to go on the offensive. And I think either the lawyer or one of these girls is going to go to jail. I really believe that. I saw an article on Watson stuff and the problem with the cops being involved because that I did not know. And if the police were involved, then it's a completely different story. If the police are involved, I'm saying something different because all I know is that the checkbook, civil suit, but if it's 2 different states and the police, that's a whole new ball of wax. So you kind of threw me off guard here, but yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know that, phone. Yeah, you are going to. You are 100% going to. No, that front 7's really good, man. That front 7 is really good. I have no idea how they got Levante David back. That was the guy I was just counting on being gone, and then used the 32nd pick on a player. Now, honestly, Tampa Bay in this draft could freak everybody out and trade up. They could. And they could also get out of round 1 completely, get some players for 2022. But the Bucks, I think, I can say the Bucks are probably in better shape to repeat than Kansas City was. But when Corona happened, the only team in the league that really benefited was Kansas City because DeMarcus Robinson didn't go anywhere. Chris Jones didn't go anywhere. And I think both those guys would have left. DeMarcus Robinson signed a 1-year deal to come back to Kansas City, and I'm baffled by that. But I'm also worried about Kansas City because they don't have 2 tackles. That does scare me. I'm still confused on that $80 million deal to Thurney. I'm still floored by that. I'm glad. Thanks for keeping up because I have no idea. So, I believe the women's layer, Tony Busby, he said the claims to the police. He says there seems to be an NGD between one of the women and Watson. Oh, really? Okay, all this stuff I'm learning. I didn't know any of that. All I know is that ESPN reported that the lawyer offered 6 figures and a no disclosure agreement. So, yeah. Well, okay. Here they went from 8 to 9. They just flip flopped. And if you do the same thing, 7 and 8, you're not getting a first for flip flopping 7 and 8. Because if Carolina goes from 8 to 7, you could just take an extra 5th, and that's good. Because you're getting the guy that you want anyway. But what you do is you dangle that the Patriots are going to jump up and they're going to get your guy, and so you're not getting an extra first from Carolina. Now you may get it from New England. If New England goes from 15 to 7, you'll pick 15th, and then you could get an extra 1. But if you're not getting an extra 1 out of Carolina, hopefully that made sense. If they drop back to 15 and gain a first from next year and JOK is gone, they can go line and take Jenkins. They could. 100%. And I don't think Oklahoma State's have they had their pro day? There's several tackles they could get. The thing is at 15, you could really address that defensive line. That's what I would do. If you're the Lions and you're picking 15, Kwity Paye aced his pro day. He's a guy I really like quite a bit. If you're not happy with Jalen Phillips, Gregory Rousseau, he's another one that you could take. Xavier Collins out of Tulsa, a guy that I have a major draft crush on. He would be perfect in this defense. Yes. Yeah. Apparently, they offered this with a 6-figure settlement. That's what I heard. This other stuff I'm not knowing anything about. I'm drawing a blank here. Sorry, man. Red Dudes. I'm sorry, man. I'm drawing a blank. That's my fault. He's not the University of North Texas receiver, is he? Is that the guy you're thinking of? You don't want to take him at 15. I prefer Chase over the Bama receivers. I do too. I'm going to get to that. I'm going to finish up the comments. I'm going to talk about Miami. Texans are going to draft a QB, at least one wide receiver late in the draft, like Coulter, and the rest of our defensive linemen, in my opinion. Don't forget last year, what was it? The kid from TCU, Blacklock. I love that kid. If you're sticking with the same type of defense, Blacklock replaces Watt. Then you just need to get zero technique. No, you're going to a 4-3. I'm sorry. So you could do that. Kellen Mond would be an interesting pick. I don't know if you can get him in the third round. He may go second. He's a guy I really like. Excuse me. Excuse me. I'm super jacked up now. The kid out of Wake Forest, sorry, drawing a blank, Felipe Sparks out of Arkansas, aced his pro day. I had no idea he was that big. He was like, I think it was like 230, 235, something like that, ran a 4.6. Really like his potential. See, Sparks you can probably get in like maybe the 4th or the 5th round. I am going to do a video with the Texans, and I am going to make a pick for you. I am going to make a pick. So, yeah, Coulter is a guy I really liked in the 5th round last year. I thought that was brilliant. So, man, I got a lot of comments here. Sorry, man. All right, I'm sorry. Alex, are you guys drafting Casper the Friendly Ghost with your first? Definitely best wide receiver. Nobody can even block him. Is that Chase or? All right, I feel like I missed out. There's dressing. There's something. Yes, Felipe Sparks is one. David Mills out of Stanford is a guy that's probably going to go like highest he'd go is in the 3rd round. Tons of upside with him. Tons of upside. David Mills, Felipe Sparks, Kellen Mond. I think Kellen Mond will go in the 2nd. Denver game. Ooh. Broncos move up to 4 with the Falcons. Grab Fields or Lance. If Falcons don't go QB at 4, we trade to 6 with Miami. Grab QB or trade back. Grab JOK. JOK, if you can get him at 9, would be great for Denver. I'll be honest with you. I'm really, really, really surprised that Denver fans really want a quarterback. I'm really surprised. You got a good quarterback. You've got some weapons around him. I think you just got to give him a chance. And but JOK at 9, that's what I got. Spoiler alert! I'm going to keep that as my pick. The only way that's not really the pick is if Detroit wants to take him at 7, and I could easily see that. I think a lot of it's going to be with his pro day. If JOK aces the pro day, Detroit could take him at 7 because Detroit desperately needs front 7 help. The front 7 is pretty solid on the Broncos. They do need help. I think they could use somebody as a middle linebacker. Jarrell Casey didn't work out. But there's no way you're drafting a defensive lineman at 9. So they are Sunday in Florida. No Gator. You trade. We just got blockers. 2022 is the year of the defense. Well, hopefully for you. Not a pay fan. I do like Phillips. He's had 2 concussions. Red Dust. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I got the guys mixed up. Yeah, he aced his pro day. You're not taking him in round 1, but he's available like round 3. Major great pick. Yeah, my bad. I like Pay a lot, and he aced his pro day. Or he trade for Darnold, which makes him the Broncos. Him or Bateman. Bateman, even though he ran well, he's the Minnesota receiver, if I remember right. He ran well, but I don't think he's going to go in the 1st round. So Yeah, I remember watching him at Florida and thinking he could be a real stud. I felt like he needed to improve. Then, if I remember, I got injured. Trask took over. Played last season at Arkansas. Didn't play great, but didn't play bad. He's definitely going to be on the NFL roster. Aced his pro day. Aced his pro day. A lot of talent. Kansas City's famous for wanting a 30-plus-year-old backup for Mahomes, but he would be a guy that if Kansas City got late and wanted to be like a third string quarterback, I would be very happy with that. I'm really high on this guy. But I think like I'd be high on him like 5th round and below. I think if you take him in the 3rd round, even though he has the athleticism to be in the 3rd round, if you take him in the 3rd round, I'd be disappointed. I could see Munn sneaking into the first New Orleans. You know what? He could go late in Tampa Bay or Kansas City, maybe interested in trading out of the 1st round, and there could be a team that needs a quarterback and says, hey, we'll take Munn in round 1. I could see that. Saints, no, because this is my prediction, and I was wrong in the year, but I think Winston's going to win that job, and I think Winston's going to play some damn good football. I think Jameis Winston's going to play some football, and I think what will happen is Taysom Hill, I think he'll come into training camp and be the starter, and I think the more they look at Winston, the more they see what made him the number 1 overall pick. I think the more and more they look at him, I think the more and more that he'll win the job. It may not be right away, but Winston will, and I think he'll play well. I think he'll play really well. Any quarterback needy teams? You still have Chicago. Chicago's at 20th pick in the draft. I don't see Detroit and Chicago trading. That's one thing that I don't see. Keep in mind, Philly and Dallas made a trade last year in the draft. So, but anyway. Washington, New England are probably our best 2 drop back. Yeah, probably. I'm not joking. I would legitimately try to swindle, and I do mean it literally, swindle Carolina, try to get anything. Minnesota did it to Cleveland a few years ago. You could. We are going to. All right. Sorry. Okay. Miami at 6. Okay. Why do they make this move? All right. Here's why they make the move is that if you look at the Detroit Lions, what did they do? They lost Kenny Galladay. So you already know that the first 3 picks are going to be a quarterback. More than likely, Atlanta's going to take a quarterback. So number 5, you know it's not going to be a quarterback. A lot of people think that Cincinnati's going to go with an offensive lineman in the draft. And to be honest, you really don't know what Cincinnati's going to do at this point in time. And, Miami and Cincinnati are both AFC teams. You're not really out to help each other. So if you're Cincinnati, you're not going to reveal. But in my opinion, I think Cincinnati, with the first 4 picks being quarterbacks, they can take anybody. Most people think Cincinnati's going to go offensive line. Somebody just commented on my Cincinnati Bengals. No, they're 100% going offensive line. I don't think so. I think Cincinnati at 5 goes with Pitts. He's gone. Or it's Jamar Chase. And that's my opinion. But here you are. You're the Miami Dolphins. You're either going to get Pitts or Chase. Doesn't matter which one. You win. And that's why they traded up, because they had to get in front of Detroit. Because Detroit, if Pitts or Chase is available, that's going to be the pick for Detroit. That's why Miami made this move. And I think it's a great move because they got so much draft capital, and they have a young, really good team. Now they can get very creative. And that's what happened. Philly, I don't think Philly wants a pick in the top 10, and they didn't, because they're not going to go with the quarterback. They need to rebuild. This is an aging roster. There's a lot of holes. This is actually a smart move by Philly. Miami is going to take either Kyle Pitts or Jamar Chase. In my mind, Miami really wants to take Pitts at 6. Originally, I had them taking Jamar Chase at 3. I was thinking about flip-flopping it, taking Pitts at 3. But if Jamar Chase or Kyle Pitts is available for the Detroit Lions at 7, that is going to be the pick. I'm going to say this again. If Jamar Chase or Kyle Pitts is available at 7, that is going to be the pick. I think Kyle Pitts will go to Cincinnati at 5. It could be Jamar Chase. You got Joe Burrow. He wants his favorite receiver back. That makes sense. If that's the case, and that does make a lot of sense to me, number 6, Kyle Pitts will be a Miami Dolphin. Let's say Cincinnati wants an offensive lineman. Kyle Pitts goes to Miami at 6. Jamar Chase will go to Detroit at 7. That would be the pick. So, want to hear from you guys. Am I full of shit? What do you think? I did enough ranting there, but that's what I think. Because somebody's going to bite from Mac Jones. I still think that the way it works out now is actually perfect for Carolina because Carolina does not have to trade up and they go ahead and get Mac Jones. They sit there at 8. Maybe you flip-flop with Detroit. Maybe you don't. And here's the best part. Let's say that Mac Jones is already gone, which I don't think he will, but let's say he is. You can go ahead and you can draft best available player, and you still get a really good player. You know what, man? They're playing hockey in hell right now because I'm 100% agreeing with everything you're saying. I like Mac Jones' style, puffing on Pat scarf, beer gut. Looks like one of the guys. Yeah, I like him too. Let me ask you something. How much better is Joe Burrow than Mac Jones? I mean, how much better? I don't see it. I don't think. I mean, I see him really close. So I've been told by a lot of people Pitts won't go to Cincinnati. I had him going there most. I still do. I still have Pitts going to Cincinnati, and the reason why is that I don't care what they're saying. Cincinnati is trying to win now, and look at the division you're in. You got 3 playoff teams in that division. You got 3 really good football teams, and then you have Cincinnati. Who's the player that can make you better immediately? I think it's Pitts. I really think it's Pitts. You got a creative, young, offensive mind. That's got to be the pick. I think that has to be the pick, to be honest with you. I think it's got to be Pitts unless Joe Burrow, who I'm going to tell you something. A lot of people feel like players are involved in these decisions. They're really not. But if Joe Burrow is involved in any way, shape, or form, and he's banging, he's like, we got to get Jamar Chase. We got to get Jamar Chase. We got to get Jamar Chase. That could be the pick. And then Miami gets Pitts at 6. But I think this is a good move because I think the Eagles need picks and they need to rebuild. And what they're also going to do with the extra pick next year is they're doing the same thing I accused the Lions of doing, is that you're going to give Jalen Hurts a 1-year trial. If it doesn't work, you just say, hey, we tried. Too bad, so sad. You use both those number ones next year, and you get yourself your guy. And there's going to be some good quarterbacks coming out next year. So, all right, no way I think the Bengals take it. I'm with you. I don't think so either. No, they drafted Jonah Williams in the first round 2 years ago. They love his game. He got injured early in training camp. He played really well last year. I know he got injured towards the end of the season, but he played really well. He's a bright spot. They picked up somebody else in free agency. I'm drawing a blank on who. I think in the second round, they pick up somebody, but not number one. Number one, they get a playmaker. Number 2, they get a lineman. So those are the only 2 offensive weapons I would want in Detroit. If they are both gone, we can't trade back. I'm good with Slater. Funk, again, we're connected here. I could go Slater. I could go Sewell. You could go crap, the tackle. I'm drawing a blank here. The tackle out of Virginia, Darashaw. You can go Darashaw. You could easily do that. And I'm not saying there's a weakness on the offensive line, but look at your coach, the way they. I always say, okay, when you look at a new head coach and a new defensive coordinator and new offensive coordinator, you look at where they came from. And since they came from the Saints had 3 number ones on that offensive line. So it makes a lot of sense to me that that's how the Detroit Lions are going to build their team, from the inside out. And if you have a great offensive line talent, you go ahead, draft it, develop it. You're starting right tackle. He's a good player. He's not a bad guy. But he's a former 5th-round pick who's going to be a free agent next year. Draft yourself a right tackle. You could trade him. You could move him inside. You could draft Slater or Sewell. I think would play in a guard spot. And then this is what let's say Slater. Let's just go with your pick, Slater. All right. Let's just say he's playing guard, but guard or tackle doesn't matter. How good is the Detroit Lions offensive line? I think easy top 10. Top 10. Legit top 10 offensive line. Okay, everybody's agreeing. I could see that. It doesn't happen as often as people think. A lot of people feel like the players have an impact or a voice or an impact. They really don't. But if Joe Burrow just says, hey, look, you got to get Chase, then yeah, this could happen. It 100% could happen. I'm going to go with Pitts in my draft. I'm going to go with Pitts. Quarterbacks 1 through 4, Pitts at 5, Chase at 6, and then I think Detroit at 7 could go JOK, but I think that they'll go with the player who they have ranked the highest, which I think will be Sewell, maybe Slater, could be Darashaw. But yeah, that's kind of what I see. Would it hurt your feelings more, JOK or Pitts in Denver? I have to admit, Pitts in Denver would be interesting because you have Fant, who's basically the same thing. Noah Fant was 6'5", 250. I think he ran like a 4.4 something. You drafted a 6'6" or 6'7", 260-pound tight end who ran a 4.49 last year. I can't pronounce his name. It's like 94 letters. Rookie out of MU. Albert O is what people called him. So wide receiver, well, you drafted 2 in around. You drafted 2 last year with the first and the second pick in the draft. You also get Cortland Sutton back. Tim Sanders is no slouch. So with Pitts, it would be interesting because I think you got to trade somebody. You know, if you take Pitts, you got to trade somebody, and that would be interesting. But seriously, if Pitts ends up in Denver, which I don't see how, I'm as a Chiefs fan, I'm like, what the fuck? Because that's what I'm looking at. Because I think Jerry Jeudy is going to be a superstar in this league. He was my number 3 player overall last year. I think I had Jerry Jeudy immensely high. I thought that Raiders messed up by not taking Jeudy. Taking Ruggs over Jeudy. I thought the Raiders messed up. Ruggs played well. Jeudy, I think, is going to be a superstar. I've said this many times. Noah Fant in a couple of years is going to be the best tight end in football. Tim Sanders played pretty damn good football. KJ Hamler is a guy that I think you way overdrafted at 2, but he's a guy who's got he's just got electric ability. He's not really a wide receiver. He's not really a running back. You need to use him on special teams. And I was told that he pulled his hamstrings. He didn't run, but I was told he was going to run like 4.25. You still get Cortland Sutton coming back. So yeah, the answer is Pitts. I'm going to stick with JOK. going to Denver, which also sucks. But if Pitts went to Denver, here's why it would suck as a Chiefs fan, is because they're going to make a trade, and they're probably going to get something back that's going to hurt the Chiefs. More than likely, it'll be somebody like Cortland Sutton may go, and instead of it being a draft pick, it could be like a defensive lineman and an additional pick. So, yeah, Pitts in Denver sucks, and I agree with you, Denver Gator, that nobody wants to see Pitts go to Denver. So we can both agree on that. New England probably wants to get in front of Carolina, though, and Carolina could potentially offer more. That's the whole game. That's why Cleveland was able, or that's why Minnesota was able to swindle a 5th round pick away from Cleveland. It was a game. This is why somebody like John Dorsey is going to come in really handy, because if Detroit wants to move, how are they going to get the best deal? And then here's another deal. Let's just say you have JOK or Sewell available. All right. Do you want to trade down to 15, even though New England's offering you a lot? Do you want to trade all the way down to 15, and then you have no idea what you're going to get? I mean, or you just want to build draft picks for the future. So, this is why the draft's so damn fun. By the way, okay, I've been ranting for about an hour. I haven't asked yet, but I'm only on StreamYard. Since I didn't have a chance to test it out. I know Denver Gator said some YouTube filters out some comments, and one of these days I'm going to start watching just on YouTube. And that way, if a comment gets filtered out, I can allow it. Because as long as it's not insulting, you can insult me. You can call me an asshole all you want. But as long as you're not trashing somebody else, then excuse me. Wow. Then I'll allow some of those comments in. I don't care. I have no idea what's being blocked, so I'm not watching YouTube. So give me a thumbs up, because I have no idea. I may have 10,000 thumbs down. I don't know. So, all right. Then management could always go, no, dude, we want you to survive. We can take them. This is what's going to be fun with the draft, because if I'm telling you right now, if Cincinnati goes offensive lineman, then Pitts will probably go at 6, and then you have to decide how good is Jamar Chase, because if he's like, I think he's a top 5 player, then you definitely take him. But if he's not, how far do you want to drop down? Because if Jamar Chase is available at 7, I could actually see a team wanting to trade up for Chase, believe it or not. True, and I'm cool with Slater. I'm greedy, and I want to be Miami. You're going to get that, by the way. You're going to get a lot of picks next year. So if you commit to golf, then you have to. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I'm with you, James. If there's weakness on, your right tackle's due to be a free agent next year. He's just a guy. So there you go. That's why it makes sense to me to go with Sewell, because if you fall in love with that tackle, if you think like he's going to just improve and play, go ahead and draft Sewell, put him as guard, and if he leaves in free agency, pop him outside, which I don't like doing, but since he's young enough, have him, play different positions, not terrible. So, but yeah. If Detroit wants Finn's draft capital to make a trade. All right, we can give him flowers. So it's Detroit picking. I have been picking Penei Sewell. I think Sewell is a guy that Matt Campbell is just going to fall head over heels in love with, and that's I think going to be the pick. I think you take a guy who was a team captain, who's got massive upside, and you can build with this kid. I'm going to be very clear. Some people say this is an elite left tackle. I don't believe that at all. I don't believe that at all. But he's a guy, I want to see his measurables, because I think he might be better suited for guard. But is if he's 6'4" or if he's 6'3" with really long arms, put him at the right tackle. Your current right tackle is just a guy. No disrespect to him. I mean, he's a former 5th-round pick who ended up being a starter. That's a great move. Kudos. But you got a chance for a guy to be really good on the right side. Really good. And you want to be a physical team. Get a physical tackle. Because even though it's now coming out to be 6'5", 6'6", I'm seeing 6'3", but the one thing that's been constant is 330 and can move. It's really rare for a guy to be 330 and can move and be athletic and be physical and have a lot of bad intentions as an offensive lineman. Those are really, really good traits. I'm telling you right now, I've never met Matt Campbell, but Penei Sewell looks like a Matt Campbell guy to me. So if we trade back, well, 2022 looks good anyway. You get 2 first-round picks, and I think one of them is going to be high because I think your team's going to be bad. So I think you're going to have a top 10 pick, and then you're going to have another pick in the first round. Who knows where it'll be in. So Gruden looks awful. So far I've been a little confused, and but I do have the pick already. I do got the pick already for pick number 17. It's a little bit of a curveball, not too much, but it's a little bit of a curveball. I could see this. The kid out of Clemson looks like a superstar. I think he's going to go number 1 in 2023. Was it JT Sullivan, the Georgia quarterback? I think he's going to go number 1 in 2022. So. Getting a first rounder shows smart design. Yes, they are. They are. The only way we take a QB this year if we move up to 2 and give up all the Stafford trade capital. That's actually definitely a possibility. Let's say you're the Jets and you're happy with Darnold. Could you go from 2 to 7? You could, but what I'm looking at with the Jets is that they're making trades to get trades and moves via free agency to get better. I think they're going to draft their quarterback at 2, and then they're going to get some help. I think what did they pick in the second round? 23, I think. They'll give their quarterback help at 23, or they'll take somebody on the defensive line. But I kind of, believe it or not, the Jets have actually made some good moves via free agency. So I really don't see the Jets trading out at 2. I have a lot of respect for Bucky Brooks. Bucky Brooks knows more about football than I do. I'll admit to that. I probably know more about gambling, but he knows more about football. His mock has Penei Sewell going number 2 to the Jets. I 100% disagree. I don't see that happening at all. Not worth funk. Wait till 2023. Now I'm going to tell you something. JT Sullivan's going to look really good. I'm telling you right now, he's going to go number 1. He's going to be really, really good. He's going to be very impressive. He checks all the boxes. Smart kid, big arm, big kid, athletic, every check mark you can make. And if Georgia somehow wins a national championship, which they got enough horses to do it. I mean, overcoming Alabama and the rest of the SEC's, daunting. But if he does it, then he'll go number 1, no questions. And next year, except for 2013 when my Kansas City Chiefs had the first pick in the draft, there's always first-round quarterbacks available. It's not like if you don't draft a quarterback this year, it's like, oh, there's never a first-round quarterback again. People always get in a panic. No, there's first-round quarterback, except for 2013 when my Chiefs chose number 1. That was the last time. It was some crazy statistic, and I don't remember what it was, but 2013 was the first time in a very long time no quarterbacks gone in the first round. There's always first-round quarterbacks that show up. Always. I do it, but we really don't know. No, you do not. You really do not. Trade up and get to the capital. Yes, he has great feet. But one thing about him, and it's funny, I'm sweating. I'm like all jacked up here. All right. Double dipping here. I need water. He has great feet, but somebody was showing, hey, watch this great play, and he's on the ground. That's a major red flag. That's why I don't consider him elite. He's on the ground way too much. Great offensive linemen are never on the ground. But he's only 20. He's a young kid. You're 6'3", 330 and can move. Now, if he's 6'5", or 6'6" and has long arms, he may not even be available at 7. I think he's going to be 6'3", 330. I think he's going to have shorter arms than people think. I hate the fact that he's on the ground, but I love his feet. I think personally he would be a Quentin Nelson type guard with a year of refinement, and he does need refinement. But you could put him on the right tackle, and he would be really, really good. Slater's better than Sewell. Man, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. As far as debating over offensive linemen, here's what I see: Slater's more polished, Sewell's got more upside. I think both of them are going to be really, really good NFL players. Both of them are going to be really good. This is a good year for offensive linemen. Really good year. Still think. The Rams need to be healthy. And if Russell Wilson stays in Seattle, which I think he will, I still think Seattle's the team to beat in the NFC West. But if I remember right, they won, 10 games last year? Was the Rams 10-6 and they won a playoff game? I think that's right. I think that they're one game better. I think they're 11-5 and can win a playoff game. But I don't think they're NFC. I don't think they're as good as Seattle. I don't think they're as good as Tampa Bay. So give Kavion. Is he the Oregon defensive end? Big Papa Pepper. What is up, brother? Man, what is up, man? Can you do me a favor? Yell at your girl. I want to see more Danny pics. I don't see enough of her. So do me a favor, just a personal favor for me. I've seen the puppy pics you put up. Those are awesome. I miss having a dog. But more Danny pics. Yell at your girl. Put her in check. Be like, hey, look, we named her after Dan. You want to see more of her. So do me a favor. I appreciate it. Glad you're here, brother. As long as the other I didn't read the whole thing. I saw part of it, and yeah, they did not get along. Yeah, I remember something. Golf's your stereotypical California kid. I mean, went to University of Cal. He looks like a surfer dude. He's super laid back. And McVay is one of these, he came from Washington. He's more of a stereotypical East Coast, uptight, high temper, high energy type of guy. And I thought because it was yin and yang, it would work perfect. But once things went bad, they went really bad. So F Georgia and the A Sullivan. I love this, man. I'm going to try to watch a lot more college football. We're going to talk more college football when the season comes up. So Grayson McCall's another guy. I haven't watched too much of him yet. The only QB I like is Rattler. I am not high on him because I'm seeing 6 foot 190. There's another podcast I listened to. It said Oklahoma got this stud out of Washington, the state that may surpass him as a starter. Another one of their quarterbacks transferred. Rattler, if I remember right, I can't remember if he's a freshman or sophomore. I think he's a freshman this year, and I think he'll be a sophomore next year. So I don't think he'll be available until 2023. I don't know, man. The Cardinals are pretty loaded this year. They may be a team to beat in the West. I don't know if you got a chance to watch my latest video. I had Devontae Smith going to the Cardinals. I did not get some love from that pick, but it makes sense to me because in that offense, you need a legitimate number 2 receiver. Larry Fitzgerald is not a number 2 guy anymore. One of the greatest receivers ever to play. But he's not a legitimate number 2 receiver in 2021. AJ Green, a shell of his of his former self when he was one of the best. When he was one of the best receivers in National Football League, he's not that guy. Christian Kirk, A guy that I love seems to be relegated to be a number 3 guy, and Andy Isabella, another guy who I just thought was really going to excel on this team, just hasn't. So Devontae Smith adds some value, but there's still some holes on this team. If you're Arizona, let's say you use this pick on a corner. Let's say there's a corner that you can add to this defense. They're still pretty good. But I don't think they're good enough. Remember, they're only an 8-8 team that can get better, but I don't know if they elevated to be NFC contenders. I think that they're right now I think they're an 8-8 team that's probably 10-6. So, but Arizona. I'll say this right now. I think Arizona, Seattle with Russell Wilson, and the Rams are all double-digit win teams. I think all 3 of them are double-digit win teams. And then you have San Francisco, who I think is really going to suck. And they know that they're going to suck. So, hey, they're going to get their quarterback. They're going to go ahead and build up that team. And they're going to hope that they can compete in 2023, probably. So, honestly, I think it's the Cards. J.J. Watt, Chandler, wow. J.J. Watt's not the same player he was 5 years ago. Chandler, if he comes back and he is the same player, then yeah. Watt has to play better, which is sad to say, but he's got to play better. He's got to play better. And if Chandler comes back, they have to figure out what to do with Isaiah Wilson. They started to figure it out. You also got to replace Hassan Reddick, who led the team in sacks last year. So let's just say Chandler replaces Reddick, plays the same way. Watt plays the same way. All right. You still have some holes in the secondary. What do you do with? I really didn't like Diaz. Isaiah Wilson. What was it? Isaiah Wilson, the kid out of Clemson. It's Isaiah Wilson, right? I wanted him to go to Detroit at 3. I thought that made sense because you can get very creative with him. And Arizona drafted him. They want to play outside linebacker. He's not an outside linebacker. Now they're putting him at middle linebacker. And he's really a hybrid type player despite being about 240. He's really a hybrid player. He plays like a safety. And so they have to figure out how to use him. You spent the 8th overall pick on him, and you don't know how to use him. I thought that was a dumb move. They figure out how to use him. Watt plays better. Chandler comes back to form, replaces the 12.5 sacks you lost from Hassan Reddick. Then you're in good shape. Byron Murphy, he was your second-round corner last year. He can play inside, outside. He has to play better. Malcolm Butler play inside, outside. He has to play better. Drake Kirkpatrick, he comes back. Can he be a number 1 corner on this team? Or does Murphy step up and be the number 1 corner? Bottom line, Arizona, I don't think they're ready, but they got a lot of pieces. They're gonna be, I think they're a double-digit win team. And I think they're going to the playoffs. But they need to get better. I still, as of today, I got them finishing 3rd, and that's gonna go back and forth because any injury of the Rams, if they have any one of their star players get injured, then they're probably not a playoff team. So that was my rant. Sorry. He's another one I like. Haskell and Garrett. Radler has. I'm not disagreeing with you, but where are you getting this from? He's got an interesting story, actually, to be honest with you. I like Rattler at Oklahoma. I'm not sure he's an NFL quarterback. Okay. JT Sullivan's a good player, and I saw a list. There's something like 30 guys that are going to be available to be drafted in 2022 that have draftable grades. That's a big number for quarterbacks. So, Ohio State, yes. I haven't had a chance to watch them, but I can almost guarantee he's probably going to go top 10. What do I think about Leatherwood or Jenkins at 31? I got kind of a curveball for the Chiefs. I don't want to say it yet. You're Braden. You're just going to have to wait a couple weeks and watch my Chiefs video, and then you can boo me. You can boo me, but I'm gonna make you wait. I will say this. Just keep watching some of my videos. Sorry, that's a bad answer. I'm sorry, man, but yeah. I've known Braden. This is Braden. I've known Braden since he was 8. He named his daughter after me, so he's a Chiefs fan. His daughter's adorable because she has my name. Big Papa, I don't think Braden. Yeah, I'll let you. Okay, you know what? Let's do this. I don't think either one of these guys are going to be available at 31. I really don't. See, I helped you out there, man. I really don't. I don't think either one of them are going to be available. Prediction: 49ers crap the bed. Broncos finish top 5 defense with a losing record. Shanahan gets head coaching job in Denver. Ask Fangio to be the DC. The coaching staff would be brilliant, just being dumb. I'm going to tell you this right now. That actually could happen because I think Shanahan will have a losing record and I think he will be fired because he's been a head coach in San Francisco for 4 years. He had 1 winning season and 4 losing seasons or 3 losing seasons, and 3 of them have been double-digit losing seasons. He was 6-10 last year. People think he's this great coach and everything. He's really not. He's really not. I'm sorry. He got fired a couple times as offensive coordinator. He had, what was it, Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, and that great offense that they were up 28-3 in the Super Bowl and lost. He's not this genius that people think. No. I think Shanahan will get fired. I think San Francisco is going to be a bad team. I think there's a chance that San Francisco may draft a quarterback. They'll stick with Jimmy Garoppolo, and then they'll debate whether to put him in, whether to put him not, trade him. I think it'll be a complete shit show. I think losing Richard Sherman and some of the leaders on that defense will hurt. I think they go 4-12, 5-11, and I do think Shanahan gets fired. And if Fangio doesn't produce a winning record, he will be fired also. That very easily could happen. Fangio will not go from being head coach to defensive coordinator, but he could go to being defensive coordinator somewhere else. And then Denver say, look, will you come to Denver and we'll pay you an arm and a leg. This happened in Kansas City with he just passed away. He was one of my favorite coaches of all time. Gunther Cunningham. This happened to Gunther Cunningham. He was fired over the internet. Kind of a dick move by Chiefs. The Chiefs brought him back as defensive coordinator, paid him more than he was making as a head coach. So this could happen. It's not as crazy as you may think. But could I see Shanahan being fired in San Francisco? Yes. If Fangio can't get it done in Denver, yes, he could be gone. And if he is, and if those two things happen, Shanahan will be the next head coach of the Denver Broncos. I do agree with that. Parsons or Devontae Smith? Just straight up Smith, but it does depend on the team a little bit. You mean JT Daniels and I thought it was Sullivan, but you know who I'm talking about. When we go into the draft, you don't have to watch the video, man. You don't have to watch the video. Dickerson wouldn't be a bad one for you. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm confused. Do I believe McVay is overrated? That's kind of a tough one. I don't think he's. I think he's a good coach. I mean, I don't. I mean, in my opinion, I think McVay, the coaching tree was kind of crazy because I mean, people were like, and if you're a quarterback coach, you were getting a head coaching job, which is a little crazy. But look at Green Bay. You got success in Green Bay. There's another team that he one of his coordinators, but and I think he's one of the top 10 coaches in the league. I really do, but he's going to have to earn it this year because he's got 5 or 6 stars and he's got a bunch of other guys that are just he's got to do a good job. I think he's a good coach. Top 10, 8 maybe. I don't know. I like Shanahan. I'm telling you right now, I think there's a very, very, very I think it's a very good chance that he gets fired, especially after this trade, because you're going to draft a quarterback. And the one thing that Niners fans never understood is that their team had holes on that Super Bowl team, and this team has holes now, and they're not going to be able to fill those holes. This is not that good of a team, and they lost their defensive coordinator, and they lost some of their offensive coaching staff, and now they're losing free agents. And now they trade up for what's going to be a quarterback, and he's not going to be ready this year. So I really believe Shanahan is going to be fired. I would bet San Francisco. If you had to tell me, hey Dan, is Shanahan going to be fired after the season, after the 2021 season? The answer is yes. Yeah, I do think he's going to be fired. So 2023 can't come soon enough. I know what you're talking about. The Chiefs, I never thought this would happen. So anyway, when Detroit drafts their what? QB. One pride was asking me what would be an SOL move. Same old Lions. Would I put parts? Okay. All right. I'll just spoiler alert. I would be really shocked if they went Parsons. If they fall in love with Devontae Smith, I could see it, but I don't see it. Okay, take a look at what the Saints did. All right. Take a look at Michael Thomas. This is a big dude. This is a 6'3", 6'4", 215 type of dude. All right. I don't see somebody who's 170 being a guy that Matt Campbell wants to build around. I just don't. So, me and you going to hit up the draft in case he could be fun. No, I will not. Yes, it will be fun. No, I will be doing lots of draft work. Also in 2023, hopefully I am no longer in the Midwest. I'm trying to get out of here. So, and you, Courtney, and Danny can come visit me. Hopefully I'll be in Vegas. And I actually had a talk with her, and I told her, there's certain places in Vegas that are kid friendly. Westgate's one of them. She's like, oh no, first time out there, we're going to party. Like she's talking, hookers and blow. So you need to go out there and do hookers. Yeah. Go out there, party, but in 2023, no. Hopefully, I will be in Vegas at that time. So, no. But even if I'm still stuck here, I'll probably just be watching, taking notes. Last year, I took a lot of notes during the draft because what I'm planning on doing is doing a live stream Monday after the draft, and I'm going to break down. I'm either going to do a live stream or I'm going to do a very long video because I'm going to do a sliding scale with the draft. Basically, I'm going to I'm not giving anybody an F unless you really screw up. So, I have 2 teams that are going to have an A+, and then, the remaining 30 teams, there'll be 3 for each letter grade. So 3 teams are going to get an A-, 3 teams are going to get B+. I'm going to probably take 1 from the AFC and 1 from the NFC and give them an A+, unless 2 teams really, do exceptionally well in the AFC or the NFC. But 2 teams are going to get an A+, and then the remaining 30 teams I'm going to divide between 10 letter grades. So it's going to be even. I remember one draft. I think it was the Saints. I thought they had a really bad draft, and this guy said, "Hey, these guys gave him a B." And I was like, "How did he get a B?" Well, the B was the lowest draft grade that they gave. Everybody got A plus, A minus. 3 people got a B plus, and the Saints had a B. And I don't do that shit. No, I go A through D. Probably not a D minus, and you have to do something crazy like pick somebody who died to get an F. So, I'll explain to Dan what I meant by. All right, I'm sorry, I'm a little out of it. I know you will. I know you will. Could be. I'm really high on Sean Payton. I think right now today I would take Payton over McVay. So I'm not joking, man. I'm not joking. Actually, Courtney did not say hookers at low. No, but yes. But no. So on a dead serious note, you and Courtney get a babysitter, go to Vegas for a couple days. Road trip, fly, do whatever, but no, go to Vegas. I know she hasn't been there. You haven't. Go. You need to do it. Have fun. Have fun. If I move out there, come on out and visit me. I'm not going to babysit Danny, though. I don't do that shit. Always comes back. I need to move out there. So Dan's making OnlyFans. I need to do an OnlyFans and start charging. I like, I remember Funk was going to do something with him and his wife and the Funky Foot, the OnlyFans, $19.99, and then the premium content was $99.99. So, and Funk, just so you know, I will advertise the Funk OnlyFans. But if I get like a commission of some sort, we drafted 2 kickers, a punter. Oh man, no, you will get D plus. What's the ceiling? Oh, this is a good one. This is a tough one. Ceiling, man, it's kind of tough to put a ceiling on a guy like this. Ceiling, and this isn't a disrespect to Campbell, but ceiling would be just below Andy Reid. That would be a ceiling. And Andy Reid's going to be, when he retires, he's going to be one of the top 10 coaches of all time. And because I could see it, that would be a ceiling, because Andy Reid, if you're not familiar, Andy Reid was never an offensive coordinator. He was a tight ends coach, then a quarterback coach, and he interviewed with Philly. And Philly, he was going into the interview, he was just like, I think the 5th or 6th option. Andy Reid came in with like some giant notebooks, and he just blew everybody away. And he ended up in, I think, 22 years of coaching, he's only had 3 losing seasons. That's pretty impressive. Now that he has a Super Bowl, the offense rewritten. I mean, you want to say that he's 1-2 in Super Bowl, but no. I mean, Andy Reid, when everything's said and done, I think Andy Reid will be one of the top 10 coaches of all time. I think he's already 5th or 6th in wins. That's your ceiling. It's like Andy Reid's here and Campbell's just right there. Floor could be one of the worst coaches of all time. And I say this because this Detroit Lions team is not a good team. All right. If the season were to start today as is, I think your Lions win 3 or 4 games. I mean, you're going to end up with a top 5 pick. And I don't think you're going to have a good first year. So what's going to happen is, because you have a 6-year deal, unless you go 0-16, he's coming back, or he has to do something crazy. But give year 1, you're definitely getting a pass. Then when you get your multiple first-round draft picks, you're probably going to draft a quarterback in 2022, or you may wait till 2023. A lot of it's going to depend on golf. but it'll take some time. But the floor, it could be terrible because he's going to start off bad. All right. I mean, I'm just telling you right now. I mean, when I look at Detroit, I'm thinking this is probably one of the 3-4 worst teams in the league. I mean that sincerely. Like, this is right now, today, this is a bad team. So his floor could be really, really low. And I'm not giving you an answer because I'm like, but he could be a guy who, I mean, let's face it. I mean, let's say he wins the Super Bowl in Detroit. Are you going to do what Philly did? And like, hey, you won a Super Bowl, we're going to get rid of you 2-3 years later. No, Detroit's not really that type of a town. They're really not. He wins a Super Bowl there, he would be revered for all time. So, but the floor, it could be god awful. So, I'm skipping some comments. It could be. And here's the thing, it really could be. Personalities are different, but the one thing about Adam Gase is I thought he got a raw deal in Miami. I really did. He took a team with a backup quarterback to the playoffs. And I thought he had a raw deal. The deal was he wanted to stick with Tannehill because he believed in Tannehill. Miami didn't, so they got rid of him. And they were sick of being a mediocre team when they really had below average talent, and he was somehow able to take them to the playoffs. I thought he got a bad deal in Miami, but then he went to New York and just shit himself. So you were thinking Vrabel. I think Vrabel has all the tools to be a really good coach. Excuse me. Honestly, I was thinking Schwartz is his floor. Actually, no. I think his floor would be Rod Marinelli, 0-16. And the reason why, and I know you don't want to hear this, but I'm going to tell you this right now. Your Lions roster right now, the way it is right now, the Lions have if the Lions were to, nope, we're going to stop everything, we're going to start the season right now, Lions win 3 games maybe. Like, this team has a chance to go winless. I mean, this is not a good team. So the floor is really, really low. But I really think that with the moves that they're going to make and with the draft picks you're going to take, I think that you're building a foundation because so far everything the Detroit Lions done is correct. And I really am very impressed. But this is still going to be a bad team. I think, Mike, you have a really good point. So. How much better record will the Lions have over the Bears? What a dumpster fire over there. Pack fans obviously face. What is your Vikings prediction for record? Okay. Denver Gators is a great question. And you know I'm a Mike Zimmer fan. I know you know this. I'm actually very high on the Vikings. The question I have is on the offensive line. They got to get that ironed out. Complete brain fart. Gary Kubiak's son's taken over as offensive coordinator for the Vikings. Very good offensive mind. The offense is going to be good. Okay, Justin Jefferson, I think, is going to get better. Thielen, if he's healthy, he's still a number 1 wide receiver. Dalvin Cook's an MVP candidate. I'm higher on Kirk Cousins than a lot of people. That defense with Patrick Peterson, he's not going to be a $10 million corner, but remember they had Carlos Dantzler and Jeff Gladney, first and third round picks. Those are really, really good players that just need development. So getting a Hall of Famer in the same room with those guys is really going to help. So the sky really is the ceiling. I mean, the sky's the limit for the Vikings next year because those 2 corners are going to get massively better. They also get Michael Carter back. Dalvin Tomlinson was a great signing. In my mock draft, I haven't taken Joseph Asai. He starts opposite Danielle Hunter, and that defense becomes really, really good. Last year, it was one of the worst defenses in football. They become a top 10 defense with that offense. I I really think that the Vikings could be. I got the Vikings tentatively, depending on what they do in the draft. If Joseph Asai is drafted by the Vikings, I would say 11-5. 11-5. And the Bears may surprise people, but I want to see what they do in the draft because I'm here. Let me just break this down for the Bears. I know you didn't ask this, but Dalton's an improvement at the quarterback position. All right. The defense is still really good. Your running back Montgomery really came on late. There's some talent at receiver, but you don't have a number one, and you're going to get one through free agency or the draft. So don't rule out the Bears yet. I know you didn't ask. The Packers, yes, the Packers are the favorite, but I just got a weird feeling the Packers. When I start breaking down the teams, I'm kind of going to try to pick apart the Packers, but you could be in a situation. I tried to pick them apart last year, and they ended up being a really damn good team. So yeah, man, Campbell wins one playoff game in 3 years. That could happen. You're going to have a bad 2021. I think you're going to have a good 2022. It wouldn't surprise me if the Lions go 10-6, 11-5 in 2022, unless you go with a rookie quarterback. Then you might have to wait till 2023. But you're going to build the team fast. Funky, we think Campbell's ceiling and his floor? His floor is Patricia. Marinelli's horrible years are overshadowed by Matt Millen being a god-awful GM. What's Salah's floor and ceiling? The floor could be really bad. And the reason why I say that is because the only time he had any success is when he had 5 first-rounders on that defensive line. And then that defense played really good. I think the Niners started off that year. I think it was 8-0 or 9-0, and that was the ceiling. But you went ahead and you had some really good back 7 players, but you had 5 first-round picks on that defensive line, and then you had Jimmy G playing some pretty damn good football. George Kittle playing an all-world tight end, and you're also playing a bunch of shitty teams. All right. They weren't 8-0 beating really good teams. They were 8-0. I think their first 5 opponents were all winless. I mean, they played some really bad teams. I mean, just terrible teams that were also injury riddled. So I would say the ceiling is potentially high. I like what they're doing in New York, to be honest with you. I also like the fact that you went ahead and you're just trying to say, hey, look, I'm not an offensive genius. I'm going to bring in my guy. We're going to do the same thing that we did in San Francisco. We're going to try to have success. They brought in Raheem Mostert, which I thought was pretty smart. So, I mean, the floor is potentially high. I would be shocked if the Jets finished anywhere above the ceiling in that division. That division's all of a sudden looking pretty good. I mean, I hate to say it, but the Patriots made a lot of moves I think Bill Belichick's the greatest coach in NFL history. So you made a lot of moves. You have a good head coach. Miami's making a ton of moves. They had a really young team. They're just going to get better. Buffalo's my pick to win the Super Bowl. So the floor is very low because I see no way they finish anything. I think they finish dead last. I don't see any way they don't. Ceiling is that you have to get them motivated and you have to play well. I'm not as high on Robert Saleh as a lot of people, and I thought New York was kind of a bad spot because this is. I know why you went with Saleh because you have Adam Gase and Saleh's almost a polar opposite, but this is a guy that I just don't see that high of a ceiling, but the floor is going to be pretty low. Because I see no way that even with a lot of free agents that this team finishes anything above 4th place. And New York's a tougher sports town than most. So here you are. You're going to see 3 teams that are all legitimate contenders, and then you're going to see the Jets. So I know I didn't give you that great of an answer, but what's his ceiling? I mean, he has to win in New York. I mean, That's a tough question. I really couldn't answer. I think our future is your future is bright. Yeah, Campbell could be Jimmy Johnson or he could be Patricia. Yeah, Ceiling is Rabel. I think it could be better. I really could. What's your take on the 17 game season, pros and cons? Okay, great question, Denver Gator. I hate it. I'm just going. I hate it. I'm the only person in the history of the world that wants to go from 16 to 14. And the reason why I want to go to 14 is because I don't want to see 5 to 8 starters missing from a team going to the playoffs, and that's kind of what you get. And I kept on saying that. Like whoever's healthy in the Super Bowl is going to be the winner. I mean, that's kind of what you're looking at. So I think less is more. You know, I would, if I'm the NFL, instead of trying to take over the whole calendar year, I take some away because you give fans that hunger. You know, remember it's an old saying. You know, pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered. Well, the NFL is turning into a hog, and I think that they should go the other direction. So I don't like the 17 game season at all. And the only reason the NFL got to a 17 game season is they eliminated a preseason game. I hate preseason. I despise it. But I also thought it was really important. And the reason why is that you had 2 games that, you know, you can get your starters in, get them some practice, get them some reps. And then you have the 3rd game, which is like a regular game. And then you have the 4th game where rookies can actually go ahead and make the team. There's several rookies that have made an NFL roster based on that 4th game. I don't know what you do now. And I'm kind of curious to see how it works. I'll be honest, I hate preseason. It drives me nuts. I watch preseason. It makes me want to pull my hair out. I know I don't have any, but it drives me up the wall. But it is very important. And there's a lot of players who, you know, make their living. The 3 games really isn't enough, to be honest with you. So I hate it. I hate the 17 game season. So I gave you the cons first. What's the pros? It's more football, man. I mean, you know, we're going to have, I think the 2105 Eric Dickerson put up, it's going to fall, whether it's this year, next year, or next couple of years. It was, you know, I actually thought that when it fell in '84, I actually thought somebody would have. I thought there would be multiple people that would beat it. I thought this was I always thought 2105. There's somebody on I think social media. I want to say Twitter. I might be wrong. Took like 6 records and which one's most likely to fall, and it was, you know, Dickerson's. Flipper Anderson, 339 receiving yards in a game. I think Adrian Peterson's 296 in a game. Several players had 4 interceptions in a game. And then Norm Van Brocklin's 556, I think. And that record he made in like 61. That's the longest one. And with the 17 game season, Dickerson's record will fall. Somebody's going to beat 2105. I think it's going to happen soon. Another thing is that I could see a quarterback hitting $6,000. I think a quarterback will help $6,000. It'll be. I think it could come right away. It wouldn't surprise me if somebody like Mahomes. Or, you know, Deshaun Watson, I think he missed a game. Maybe he didn't, but he led the league in passing yards like 4,700. Jameis Winston, let's say, remember he threw for 5,000 in Tampa the year before. Winston gets a starting spot. He could throw for $6,000 passing yards is not as difficult as you may think. I think Breeze, or is it Manning? Didn't Manning have 5,500? So you'll see 6,000. You will see 6,000, and probably not right away, but the way the league's going, you could see 6,000, and your Eric Dickerson's record will fall, and that's why that's kind of exciting. So Salah could be Bill Belichick or another Gates. Bill Belichick, no. I don't see that at all. I mean, he could. I don't see it, but yeah, he could. And I think he could really suck. He could really suck because that's not a good situation in New York. You have 3 teams that are very considerably better. That was a clusterfuck, so my bad. I don't have enough on Vrabel to make him high or low yet. I think you could call Vrabel a good coach. I think you can call him a legitimately good coach. You can't call him elite. He hasn't won anything, but what he's done a good job in Tennessee. I think he's done a really good job, to be honest. You hire on Campbell or Sal Campbell? Yeah. Okay, Funker Grease. I wanted Ed. I know you did. I know. Denver, I love it. Fun fact, they do add the 17th game. The Lions get the wow. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. That is really cool. The Lions' best all-season moves to bring in Dorsey. Yes, 100%. 100%. Look, nobody's debating this. But I've seen several players make the roster on week 4 performances. It sucks for me and you, but when you see a guy, he has a chance to be unemployed or he makes the team on that 4th preseason game. And I've seen it happen several times. I mean, it happens often. There's several players. And on some of these guys, it doesn't really turn into anything. They get cut either the next season or halfway through the regular season or what have you. But I've seen it happen many times where a player comes in week 4, has a bad game, and he gets cut. Remember, I don't remember the guy's name, but I know he played at Ohio State, but there was a quarterback when Dick Vermeil left, offensive coordinator. I'm drawing a blank on the guy's name. Anyway, I was watching the Rams. It was a Rams preseason game, and the backup quarterback had a terrible game, and the coach at halftime announced that he was benched to 3rd string, and I think later got cut. He ended up coming to Kansas City with Dick Vermeil because Dick Vermeil really liked him. He was Dick Vermeil's guy, but he had a bad preseason game. Coach benched him on national TV. I mean, it was pretty harsh, but 3 preseason games is difficult. And the reason why it's difficult is because they also limited practices. You can only have X amount of hitting practices. You're only allowed to go X amount of distance. So there's a lot of regulations that NFL teams have to follow. So taking away a preseason game really hurts the quality of the game, believe it or not. I would like to see the NFL shorten the regular season and add extra bye weeks. I think that what they should have done is gone 14 weeks, 14 games, 2 bye weeks, have one early in the season, have one late in the season for every team. And you make this, you give the players opportunity to be healthy in the playoffs. That just, and Agnew, I'm drawing a blank. Mike's in the house. Mike came strong, man. Mike came strong. Tell I don't know if you and Pete talk, but tell Pete I said hello, man. Do tell Pete I said hello. I've been going on for about an hour 50. I'm starting to lose my voice. I'm going to wrap it up here, but before I go, everybody give me a thumbs up. I noticed I have not been doing this lately, and that's on me, but on my comment section, I leave all my social media. You can follow me on any social media platform. I'm not signed up on TikTok yet, but I might do that. I've seen more and more people doing stuff on TikTok. Anyway, as of right now, I'm not doing it. I also am going to come out with a video probably tomorrow night. I'm going to talk about the trades and how, you know what? I forgot. I'm sorry. I forgot to mention this. I forgot to talk about the Eagles. The Eagles at 12 are the team that I'm really, really confused about because I know they wanted to get out of the top 10. And originally I had them taking a corner. So here's the problem that you have. Let's say J.C. Horn goes to Dallas at 10, which is definitely a possibility. All right, Surtain's off the board. All right, let's just say Surtain's off the board. Well, actually, no, I'm sorry. The way my mock draft would go would be Surtain actually would free fall because Surtain wouldn't be chosen at Miami. So here's how this works. All right, Dallas takes Surtain at 10. J.C. Horn becomes the pick in Philly at 12. So that's okay. So I'm sorry. I didn't get that sooner. If the Farley, who I originally had the Eagles, here's what happens. I think Caleb Farley at 6 would have been the Eagles pick. Farley has surgery. They don't want to take him at 6. They either take him at 12, which is a good spot for him because he's not guaranteed to come back, or you go with Horn. And Horn had a great pro day. Horn's also better at man coverage, so I think you like taking Horn at 12. The reason why the Eagles get out of the top 10 is because the corners at 6 really aren't there. You could go Surtain, sure. And I think Surtain's going to be a Pro Bowl corner. But he's not an elite prospect. Remember Patrick Peterson, when he came out of LSU and he was the 5th pick overall, like I almost thought he could go number 1 overall. You're not getting You're not getting a Patrick Peterson type player at 6. But I do think the Eagles will go corner. Remember, they lost Jalen Mills and they moved him to safety. Big Play Slay he was decent, but he wasn't really the same guy. Maddox, who's a 4th round pick, and I think 2 years ago, he was their number 2 guy. They really want him to be number 3 guy. What happened is they drafted Sidney Rice a couple years ago. He would have been a top 10 pick, well, top 10, top 15. Tore his ACL at Washington's pro day. So the Eagles took him in the 2nd round, got good value, but he never really got healthy. I think he's out of the league right now. I'd have to look it up, but they really thought that he was going to be a corner. He wasn't, so they traded for Darius Slay. They don't have another corner. At 12, they could go safety to try to replace that hole that Malcolm Jenkins and Jalen Mills missed, but I don't see them doing that. I think at 12 it's going to be J.C. Horn or Caleb Farley. I think you go with Horn. So the way it works now so basically at 3, 6, and 12, 3, San Francisco is going to take a quarterback. 6, Miami's going to take Pitts or Jamar Chase, whichever one that they like most, or whichever one's really available. And if the Bengals go tackle, they go Pitts. The Eagles at 12, they'll take a corner. So I'm going to read the rest of these, and then I'm out for the night. Terrell Davis, yes. Terrell Davis, yes. He doesn't get an opportunity unless he makes a big play in preseason. Yes, it is one of the hardest things for me to do is watch preseason football. I hate it. I literally hate it, but it does help. Also, you see the contracts we were handing out to these players, and I'm like, how? Yes, I know. I'll check again on the Washington trade. I don't see anything, but I saw they signed. Yeah, I don't see it either. The guy's no longer in the chat, but I will say this, man, welcome to the show. Everybody's always welcome. Since you're new, hopefully you hit that subscribe button. Everybody, don't forget, give me a thumbs up. I'm not even looking at YouTube. I have no idea. I may have 5,000 thumbs down. I have no clue. I think NFL teams should have a minor league for development. I do also. I don't know if you remember, there was a minor league team there was a minor league thing. It was kind of like the XFL in the spring. It didn't work out. They tried the European Football League. I really, really hope that the NFL does have a minor league that's played during the spring. I would love it. I would watch it. I think it would be great that if every NFL team took, 5 to 10 players and say, hey, you can play spring ball to develop, and there have to be some rules and regulations like you can't be a first round pick and play spring ball, but I mean, dude, I would love it. And I hope the NFL does it. So We paid 1.75 mil to linebackers. Yes, I didn't touch base on that, but that was a great move. And I think the reason why he took less money is because he wanted to go and play for Campbell and Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn's, I think, going to be a good coach. I think Aaron Glenn's going to be a good coach. I would too. According to Exos, the Exos Training Academy, I ran a 4.49 40. Who did Giants pick at 11 after trade day? So, a possibility. I didn't. You know what? I didn't really touch base on this. I'm gonna stick with them taking Ojalea or whatever. Owa is a possibility, by the way. If you don't know, Owa at 6'5", 255, I think 250, 255, ran a 4.36. I'm not changing my Giants pick. Ojawia, I'm going to butcher your name. I like him. I think Giants need a pass rusher. I really do. I still think Slater is in the running, but I'm looking at the Giants. I'm like, man, you had a pass rusher. That's the guy. Why was he good? All right, James has a very interesting question. I don't know you. So I'm gonna pass on this one, man. Welcome to the show. Hopefully hit that subscribe button. Never heard from you before. You come in weird. Not last year. He didn't live up to the contract. I look like I have no idea who that is. So Baldy. All right, so I got a bunch of weird opinions on new second attention. I don't know who this dude is, so on the RG. All right. I don't know who that. Dude, I don't know who you are, but welcome to the show, man. I'm I'm going to call it tonight. So listen, next week, I hope you join. Don't forget, give me a thumbs up. I thought the XFL wasn't. Yes, and I hope it happens. It's still. I don't think it's in the works yet, but I'm hoping it works out. Funk ran a 4.21 at Penn State. I wonder what they did, you know. So let's see. Okay, so okay. This is all right. So I did something new here. I just blocked somebody for the first time ever. I'm getting a little spam here. All right, so got several. Okay, so I'm blocking some motherfuckers here. All right, you know, hey. All right, man. So it's, I guess, you know, hey, man, got some love here. So, all right, man. Just a couple questions. Much. All right, man. James, welcome to the show, man. Hey, dude, listen, I'm going to tell you something. Anything goes on live stream. Anything goes, but I'm going to wrap this up. I'm just going to hit these last one. With Giants take Parsons going by off-field issues? I'm going to say no. And one of the reasons why is they come from the Patriots organization. Character. I know a lot of people think that the Patriots don't really value character, but one of the things they do value is scheme versatility and intelligence. One big negative about Parsons' game is that he has a real problem read and react. I mean, see ball, get ball, yeah, he can do that probably better than anybody in this draft. Being able to read, diagnose plays, he has struggled with that, and that was something you can't take away. Plus, sitting out a year, the off-field issues. I don't even have Parsons going in my top half of the first round. I don't think the New York Giants will take Parsons, period, unless he's available in round 6 or something. The Giants are a team that's really been pretty big on players with character. So Baldy is a video. I don't know who that is, man. I don't know who that is. I'm glad you got some love. Give me a wrench. I'm putting in people. You know what? I haven't had a chance to do that because the show's always been the show's always been, you know, pretty pretty low key. But I might have to do this, man. I no, I've never given a wrench to anybody. You would be one of them though. I've never done it. I don't know who this is. Pro Comp Aziz Ojolari. That is a good one. I'm not going to give you a good one here because it's not really great, but I'm going to say Justin Houston. And the reason why I say that is that he plays strong. He actually had a great pro day. He was a lot faster than I thought he would be, but he kind of reminds me of Justin Houston, another Georgia Bulldog. Now, the difference is Justin Houston was a lineman who kind of projects as a 3-4 outside. No, there is no difference. I'm sorry. Justin Houston with more speed, not the power. Justin Houston was much stronger, much more powerful, and Aziz Ojolari is a strong, powerful dude, so this is no small feat. Justin Houston, though, came to Kansas City, and he was like one of the strongest guys on the team as a rookie. I mean, so Justin Houston, another Georgia Bulldog, would be kind of my comp pick. I think that he's going to go – I really do. I think he's going to go very high, and I think 11 to the Giants makes a ton of sense. So that's going to be my pick. I think the Bears are a loser free agent. Don't blame you. They don't look good so far. They don't look good. So anyway, hey, I'm going to end it. Hey, man. Hey, guys, listen, thank you so much for love. Thank you so much for the support. Don't forget, give me a thumbs up. I deserve it. I've earned it. Hey, look, let's end the show, man. Hey, I will see you guys next week.